right. It's week 25, commercial real estaters. As you slip away into your 30A slumber.
Yeah. But it's July 4th, man. Nothing's getting done.
Oh, I'm so going to be at 30A.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That'll be nice. I'll be at the Jersey Shore. So
I'll be, maybe I'll get one of those like DR Horton signs and put Matt cap on it and raising money.
Bring checkbooks here.
Yeah. Oh.
Or you can hand out flyers for availabilities on the beach.
Yeah.
Hey, bring your tenant here. I got a site. Speaking of which.
Hey, what's your allocation to commercial real estate look like?
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. It's under 20%. We need to get those numbers up.
Yeah, we need to get those numbers up. You know, have you ever heard of alternative investments? Yeah, that's kind of what we do here.
It's like in Wolf of Wall Street. We got to pump those numbers up. Pump them up.
Anyways, let's start financial news this week. Initial jobless claims. Forecast
up
236.
Oh,
previous was 242. Dude, when we started this, it was like 200s, 196, 201, 202. People are laying people off.
So there was a statistic that was thrown out by this guy. Hold on, let me look it up right now. I forgot. I bookmarked it, but I can't get there fast enough. Joel Capital. I don't think he's a real group or anything. It's just like an Instagram dude. But he says the mother of all mass layoffs is coming. Corporate transcript mentions of operational efficiency has absolutely skyrocketed over the last 3 quarters.
Wait, what does it say that again?
So I think when analysts are listening to executives when they do their earnings calls, the phrase operational efficiency is being quoted more than ever since they started tracking that.
So they don't have operational efficiencies, is what
they're trying to figure out, like, hey, how do we get more operationally efficient?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Headcount down.
Yeah.
And it's kind of tying in with like end of year.
Was this a tweet?
This guy's on Twitter, but this was on Instagram.
Yeah.
So he might have cross-posted it.
I could have sworn I saw the same thing on.
You might have. Here,
Yes. That's what I saw.
Exactly. We'll post this, but kind of wild.
It is wild. There's a bloodletting about to happen. It's getting real out there. There's people losing their jobs. I mean, there it is right there, dude. We've watched this tick up.
Yeah.
Over the last 6 months.
Yeah. Well, then someone said, has anybody noticed how cheap toys are getting? As in like RVs, ATVs, UTVs.
Yes, I saw that.
You saw that too?
Yeah. Yeah. Because back in COVID, they were sky high.
Stupid.
Now you can get them for nothing.
Hopefully the Sprinter van market gets a little soft for us.
I'm still go back to renting that thing.
I know.
Want to own it.
Yeah.
I'm selling all those kind of things in my life.
Yeah. Well, I think you got rid of the boat at a good time.
I mean, still got fleece. I got another boat to get rid of. Got one more to go. Going all in on the ranch, making the ranch great again.
Yeah. What's next on the econ data?
Existing home sales forecast is 4.07 million. Previous was 4.14. So that's down 700,000.
Dude, the stones are falling into the water.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's might be getting a rate cut. You're going to have to do something. The gears are grinding. So
they need to grind a little more.
The U.S. debt clock. We clipped a nice little 19 billion last week. 19 billion. Okay. God, could you imagine going in debt 19 billion a week?
Dude. Crazy.
I mean, unbelievable.
And then they're like, we're going to cut taxes. Like, you idiot. How do you do that?
Yeah. Well, they're going to have to cut rates eventually because they have to borrow at a higher rate. So their burn rate's going higher. I always thought it's funny. You can get treasuries at 5 or whatever now, but if you have to borrow money from the IRS, it's like at 8.
Yeah, those suckers. Are you kidding me?
Oh, they're making spread just like a bank.
They got a notes to note on their own sales.
Mm-hmm. The Dow Jones down 130 points, closed out at 38,589. The S&P closed out at 5431, up 85 points. The NASDAQ had a strong week, up 555 points to close out at 17,688. West Texas crude,
Where are we at?
up $2.92 a barrel, $78.45.
But gas is kind of expensive right now. I don't feel like that's kind of bled all the way through.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been around $3 for so long. I feel like it
was interesting. I was trying
to
to figure out last week, like, sorry to derail this part, but like I was in Midland last week, you know, and I had oil explained to me in a very good way that made me understand it.
Okay.
So you have a drilling rig, right?
Yeah.
And that's like a development.
I don't feel like you're derailing, by the way. Like,
okay. This is a real thing. So I've been kind of on this side quest to like learn more about oil. I know what upstream, midstream, and downstream is now.
Oh, okay, good. I don't.
But the like West Texas pulling it out of the ground is upstream. Midstream is getting it in the pipeline and getting it down to Houston, and that's downstream, refining it into gas.
Oh,
okay. That's how it was explained to me. So if I'm wrong, sorry, but to think of oil in a real estate perspective, you have a piece of dirt.
Yeah.
They put a drilling rig out there.
Okay.
That's the development. That's like developing a building.
Is it speculative development?
No, they have a tenant in tow called oil.
Okay.
You know,
like they know there's oil in the ground.
Supposedly, I would think they know, allegedly there's oil in the ground. So that's the development. They build the well out, they drill it, and then they put a pump jack there.
Yeah.
And the pump jack is the cash flow. Every time it pulls up and pumps oil out,
money's produced.
Distribution.
Okay.
Distribution.
Interesting.
Distribution.
Who gets those distributions? The people that
whoever the operator was.
Okay.
Something also,
but they lease that spot.
They might lease the minerals. I think there's okay. You're getting
I'm not getting
too deep.
Okay.
But another thing I learned that was really interesting is you have people like Conoco, right? And they might own 30,000 acres out there in the Midland Basin. Okay, in the Permian Basin, and what's interesting is they can't get to it all.
Why?
To drill 30,000 acres, I mean, look how many pump jacks are right next to each other. I mean, I don't know how many pump jacks you can fit on an acre, right?
I don't know.
But
there's a lot. You look at the satellite thing, it looks like Mars.
Yeah, they're all just, So what they do is they implore other operators to drill the wells and complete them for them.
Do a little co-GP action.
So it's like co-GPing. It's like you have a larger institutional equity partner that's going to give you money or give you access to something to where y'all can both produce together because they need or think about it like a Starbucks real estate director. He can't open 30,000 stores. No. He needs development partners to get to the locations and get it out. So anyways,
interesting. Kind of like Circle K.
Yeah, like Circle K.
They can't do them all.
They can't do them all. And so the larger operators, but they already have the land, but they just can't get to their land,
Okay.
So anyways, it was just kind of an interesting
I don't know anything about
subset of all that stuff. So, but anyways, that's West Texas crude. That was my mini education in West Texas crude last week. So
New Jersey refines a lot of oil.
Do they?
That's very upstream.
Well, where does
downstream?
Where does that come from? The Delaware Basin?
I don't know. I think
probably comes from Delaware.
Someone told me that whatever's not refined in Alabama and Texas typically gets pumped up to New Jersey. That's I might be totally wrong, but that's why like when you fly into Newark Airport, it's gross. You get the Newark, you get the Port of Newark there, but there's a ton of oil refineries there.
Oh, okay,
a ton.
Well, it's a horrible look. I mean, it looks
gross.
like shit.
It looks like Soviet Russia. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, just smog coming off a stack
everywhere, and just all these pipes,
flame, just randomly blow off gas. So
that's your first look.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's West Texas crude. The 5-year Treasury, man, kind of dropped last week.
Yeah,
closed out at 4.247, so it dropped almost the 200.
The 10-year dropped too because bond prices went up, so yields go down. Yeah, they are inverse.
Yep. 10-year ended up at 4.228, down 211.
Oh, that's good. And then mortgage rates came in.
God, we got to start tracking mortgage rates.
Yeah.
I got to do that.
Mortgage rates, I just saw a headline where like sub 7 for the first time in
Let's ask Devin that today when he gets here. Where do we track mortgage rates?
Yeah. I think it was like sub 7 for the first time in the last 60 days.
SOFR remains unchanged.
If we get down in the 5s, I'm leaving. I'm selling my house. If any of you people want to buy in Lake Highlands and you want to scrape,
you're gonna own it.
You're gonna own my house, but you're gonna pay for it.
You're gonna pay, but you're gonna own it. Okay, real estate stocks. REIT mortgage led last week. REIT office right behind it. Suckers.
I don't get that.
REIT industrial in third. Oh man, I forgot to pull this one article. I'll pull it for another week. But like someone had, there's some short sellers on like office on REITs who's have loan maturities coming, which that was kind of my idea.
They've been listening to us in the darkness.
I don't know if it was my idea, but it was an idea I had that probably someone else smarter than me actually executed on.
Some quant.
3-month performance, healthcare facilities, and REIT residential lead with positive gains. Everybody else is a loser over the last 3 months. Okay. Term of the week. Ricardo Caminera at Marcus and Millichap sent this one in.
Dang.
So if y'all got some funny ones, send them in.
Please do.
Yeah.
And you can tell us if you are okay with us sharing your name or not. Some people request they want to be anonymous, and that is totally fine.
Yeah.
For good old Ricardo.
He didn't tell me, but I just said his name, so too late now. But anyways, I don't think he cares. Anyways, he said, let's see. He had some new guy on the phone in his office, and based off of the conversation, you can tell it was an off-market apartment deal, and they were trying to put it together. But basically, the offer was too far apart, and so he said he heard the guy go, "Yeah, the seller mentioned it was far apart from what we wanted, but give me a couple days, and I'll try to massage the seller." So, massage the seller means our offer's too far apart, but I'll try to make him do it.
Yeah, that's funny. Massage.
I
work into that.
Yeah, just working, work out all the kinks, pricing kinks, term kinks.
Get the blood flowing.
Oh, you got a little issue right here on this. Let me massage that out.
Oh boy.
Okay. In news. This is pretty cool. Texas Stock Exchange.
Oh yeah. You remember I sent you that?
Yes. That was crazy.
That was crazy. I had the OM for the fundraise.
Yeah.
Probably 100 days ago, 180 days ago.
So Texas is going to create a stock exchange and they're going to locate it in Dallas. BlackRock, Citadel Securities, and about 2 dozen investors raised $120 million to create TXSE, which would be headquarters in downtown Dallas and is the alternative to the New York Stock Exchange, and NASDAQ aims to facilitate trades in 2025 and host its first listings in 2026.
Wow.
Have you heard the term they call down here Y'all Street instead of
No. What?
Y'all Street.
No, they cannot.
No, that's a good. I like that. Y'all Street.
So,
maybe we could go public.
The thing is like there's so many people who are not from here now that like that charm I think is lost, in my opinion.
Oh,
in Dallas.
Yeah, in Dallas, maybe.
Yeah. There was a news article based off of that Dallas is going to be America's like the place to be.
Yeah, dude. We're
like, forget about LA, forget about San Fran, forget about Chicago, New York, Dallas.
Yeah.
That's where it's at.
I totally think so. I don't know. It'd be cool. It would be cool to have a Texas stock exchange. We could be publicly traded. I don't know what that really does for you. I don't understand how that works.
That sounds terrible.
I need someone to educate me. And like, what happens when you really go? Like, what happens when you go public? Because you talk about everybody gets paid when you go public, but like,
sounds like financial colonoscopy all the time.
That's why you hire people for it. Anyways, that's pretty cool if that happens.
That would be actually pretty sweet.
Okay, big industrial deal sold. Proto Park. So
Yeah.
very interesting building. I have a lot of history with this building. I actually helped kind of sell it to MTG indirectly. I got paid on it. I didn't rep MTG, but I got paid from the buyer's side on it. Gwen actually, David Gwynn actually repped them.
Oh, okay.
And, but I kind of funneled him some information that it was
ready to go.
It was falling out.
Yeah.
And
who had it tied up before? Oh, you don't want to mention?
I don't know. These guys like to be secretive and
Yeah.
And but a very strong, prominent Brook Hollow player had it under contract and dropped it.
Interesting.
But this was the old Central Transportation building.
Yep.
And I remember when Central Transportation was in there when I first started brokering in the business. And then they ended up moving out. They moved to Arlington, I think. But some group out of California owned it. And then M2G bought it. And I thought this was funny. On the deal sheet, it says a 250,000 square foot urban industrial park in the Dallas Design District.
How does that work?
It is nowhere near the design district.
That doesn't make sense.
But like, it's a design district type building.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of their thesis is.
I mean, it's near the design district, but you got to go past Trinity first. Like, you're not even you got a whole neighborhood in front of you.
It's like a 7 to 10 minute drive.
So M2G and Pennybacker sold Proto Park to California-based Vendetti. Vendetti was actually the group that bought, I want to say it was Cantex's first portfolio, and they bought all those buildings. They own some Brook Hollow. This is Brook Hollow, by the way. This is not Dallas Design District, but
big difference.
Anyways, do
we have the comp on the price per pound?
They don't have that, and probably wouldn't say that out loud here just from the amount of tax rate colonoscopy that's going on.
That's terrible, dude. One of my college, one of the guy I was in a fraternity with, he does that now. He said to work with Dallas County these days, you have to come. It's a barter system. They're like, hey, if you want to work on your appraisal here, we need comps. If not, GTFO.
Yeah, I could see that.
The new dude's a real hard nose.
Yeah. Well, guess what? The economy's failing. So in industrial, you better be careful because that money gets passed on to the tenant.
Yeah, you'll just crush a tenant.
You'll lose your BPP money. But anyways, that sold. I got to hand it to the girls on this one. They kind of put a vision on a building that, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of their gig, right? They put a spin on a building that you don't really think of. Like when I've tried to sell this building to so many users in the past, and it had a real screwed up lease in the front with Morrison Supply, where it pretty much, it was like at $3 gross. Can't pass through any increases in OPEX or any increases in taxes or insurance. It was, so they kind of fought through that. But I mean, I remember when I heard they landed their first tenant in the rate, I was like, I think Harrison put them in there. The first tenant.
It was a granite company.
It was a granite company. And I think they landed in mid eights or something like that net.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that is insane.
I think it was higher than mid, but it was a fat rate.
And then they did a distillery in there. And so I got to hand it to them. They did a great job of like repositioning that building, and probably made a bunch of money. So good for them. Way to go, girls. Okay, lastly in news, we're going to pick up from last week because it heated up. But man, Retweet has just been a nuclear wasteland here lately. So
over the weekend,
we lost some good contributors.
Yeah.
Chris Powers left.
No longer on Twitter.
110,000 follower account, and just zoop. Vaporized it. A lot of speculation on why he did that. I think at the end of the day, he just went, I don't need this shit, man.
No. No, he doesn't.
So just to touch base back on what we were talking about, there's some anonymous account out there just putting everybody on blast. There's a lot of speculation that it's a guy that's done this before, and I think a lot of people are starting to lose steam on him. But he keeps acting like he's going to have some big announcement. Wait till tomorrow at noon, big announcement. And then he goes, "Oh, it's just not ready yet." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So you're on Twitter saying that GP operators aren't delivering what they promised, and you can't even deliver your freaking report on time.
Yeah,
Like-
and the thing is, he's going ham on Chris.
Mm-hmm.
In industrial, we haven't really had much bloodletting.
No.
I mean, there's going to be some here and there, but like he's bought in the best real estate markets in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, people could argue that, oh, he overpaid, he did, but like it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
And like
It's not like multifamily floating rate debt where you're tied to equity and you just
blew massive amounts. But the thing is too, is like these leases are locked in for 3 to 5, 7 years.
yeah.
They're not as liquid as multi, where you have like stuff rolling all the damn time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know. Until someone puts something on paper that is verifiable and legitimate,
Yeah.
it's all just
It's a bunch of
Gas.
BS. It's a bunch of gas.
it's a bunch of hot air and gas.
So, and then Baker, I don't know why Baker left.
I bet that guy just had a mental breakdown somehow.
Oh.
Maybe not.
I
Or he
love
was just
Baker.
like, I mean, he was the silly guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then it probably like, but he's really smart.
Oh yeah, he's sharp.
And he was probably just like, you know what, this went from being satirical to now like this is actual clowns.
yeah,
And like he didn't sign up for an actual
yeah,
like freaking rodeo.
yeah,
He signed up to be like the comic, and
yeah. He's the comic relief of
And
Retweet.
you have a guy by the name of Petite Retard running around
That got
actually
deleted.
acting.
That got deleted his account.
He's back on this
Oh,
morning.
he's back on.
Yeah.
I think it's the same guy.
It probably is. Yeah.
And then
But-
if you look at the people that comment on his stuff are other anonymous accounts. I think
Yes.
this guy's like running this whole thing.
What a sick individual.
Yeah, sounds like he's got a mental problem.
Like, if he could just channel that to something good.
That's my thing is like, okay, you know,
Yeah.
who are you and what do you do and how do you have this much time to put out this much stuff?
It's, yeah.
So, anyways, I think he'll fade away.
Yeah.
I think he's got 2 weeks tops. There's
Yeah.
enough people that I think are on to him, but
You know, these accounts, though, they just rip it. Now with Elon running Twitter, it's like
Mhm.
kind of a total free for all.
yeah.
It is a mess.
Well, it just sucks because there are some actually really, really smart and
Yeah.
insightful people on Retweet. And, you know, if you're not if you're not on it, you should probably get on it just to be a
Yeah.
lurker. But
Yeah.
there's some really good operators on there. You
Yeah.
know, hey, there's always going to be grifters in
For sure.
anything in life. And social media has definitely magnified that.
Mm.
But it's harder to be a grifter on Twitter, in my opinion, than it is Instagram or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's
Dude.
actual people with brains on Twitter. Like,
Yeah. And the thing is with Twitter, like you have to sit and write out whether you did it previously and then you have
Mhm.
somebody who's administering like the programming,
Yeah.
right? Like
Mhm.
you like Bob Knackle, right?
Yeah.
He's got all of that stuff in his brain
Mhm.
and he probably writes it all out. And then we know publicly that he has somebody who kind of pieces it together,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
But like 90% of it's Bob.
Oh, yeah.
Someone's just dressing it up and organizing it.
Sure.
Like that takes time and like thought, like the Instagram thing, like use the Paradigm or whoever that group was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that, what's going on here? Like,
Yeah,
is this
I'm telling you,
showboating?
yeah,
Is this
no,
a Ferrari commercial? Is it a boat commercial?
yeah.
Like,
Is it a
Jet
TRT?
ski?
Is it a TRT commercial?
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I see these dudes up in the gym, you know, like they're all swole. Everyone's on steroids. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if they're on steroids, but it
They're
could,
on steroids.
It looks like there's, yeah. But,
So, no, but
totally different.
I don't
yeah.
think people like that could make it on Retweet because, like, I don't think anybody.
Well, there's just like you have to, it's just I don't know.
I think you actually have to provide substance.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah, very unfortunate that I guess this guy's whole deal is like, oh, you've screwed all these investors. Okay, hold on a second. Like,
Who? We
like
would be
who?
hearing,
You would be hearing about it in the streets.
especially like there's a big group that helped Chris buy a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're DFW, Texas based.
Yeah.
Everybody who does what we do has interacted with them at one point or another
Mhm.
because they are looking for fort or the next fort
Yeah.
to grow and plow more money in because they're a big allocator.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's a no. I mean, that's a legit group.
Yeah.
If there's blood in the street there, I'm sure people would know.
Yeah. Like I put on that one tweet, I've never invested with Fort, so I don't know how their deals are.
Mhm.
But we have hired them for third-party management, and they've done a great job. Like,
and trust us, our asset manager is like the most nitpicky dude.
yeah,
Mechanically over-engineer everything.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, they give a lot of attention to our assets, and I got to think they're giving the same amount of. I mean, you got to think they're giving more to their own, right?
I mean, we're not naive to admit that.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I mean,
we would do the same.
so I think for that, because of that basis, their LPs are going to be just fine.
Yeah,
you know what? It's kind of like, they might not hit some home runs and some stuff they bought lately, but don't forget the times they crushed it too.
Yeah,
like don't forget about that.
Like they're not gonna. Yeah.
Because what happened? You gave them your money back most likely. And I'm not saying LPs are whining about this. I'm just saying if they were, it's like, well, he probably smacked it out of the park for you, and you gave him his money back, and he went to go put it to work somewhere else, and well, it's not going to do as great, but
every deal cannot be a home run.
No,
as long as there's no loss of capital.
Yeah,
I mean, that's kind of the floor.
Well, okay, so let's talk about it on a bigger level. How many times has Blackstone lost money? They've lost their investors' capital before,
for sure.
Guaranteed,
for sure.
I know of a fund here in Dallas that their first fund was $150 million and they lost it.
Yeah,
and they're on Fund 7 now.
Yeah,
like so
we're not. Go ahead.
I feel like if we ever lose money, if we ever lose capital, like we're done.
Yeah, we're too small.
Yeah,
just smoke us.
Yeah,
we've totally wiped out. Everybody, go get a new job.
Yeah, but.
Maybe not industry related.
Yeah.
Will, you're going back to insurance. Oh, God. It'd be terrible. But no. I mean, hey.
So, anyways, that's kind of my take on it. It sucks Baker and Chris are gone. But,
yeah. Baker's so much fun.
Golly.
So much fun.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Like, just the stuff he would come out with, you would just be like, where do you think about these things, man?
Yeah. So, anyways, that's all I got this week. You got anything?
The Euros are playing, so I'm just watching who's going to be European champion next.
Is this the next soccer league?
This is the qualifying for the World Cup for all the European nations.
Okay.
So, England is the heavy favorite, but it's kind of like having it's a superstar team.
Yeah, it's an all-star team.
It's a total all-star team, and like they did not perform very well yesterday. Very clunky.
Who'd they play?
Fluid. They played Serbia, and they should have absolutely pounded them.
Yeah.
I mean, they arguably have the best. It might be one of the best international teams ever assembled, and they just clunky. No fluidity at all. Yeah. Germany looked great though. Pounded Scotland 5-1. So Belgium's playing Slovakia right now. It's just, I don't know. It's middle countries.
So when does the World Cup start?
26. So this time in 2 years.
All right. So they're getting it ready to go.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And it's coming to North Texas.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm pumped. But yeah, a lot of soccer over the next 2 months.
Then football starts.
Mm-hmm. Then your picks.
Picks. I think Jay Murr's going to be a calling guest on those. Yeah.
Nice. Let's do it.
So, all right. Well, good luck out there, real estaters.
We're out.
See ya.